Well, the D.O.G.E boys have completely let me down. We are in day 3 of our annual madness here in the United States. Day 3 of daylight saving time. As I've said in numerous videos before, daylight saving time serves absolutely no purpose. It might have at one time, although that's questionable. But right now, in 2025, it's meaningless. It's a silly ritual that we go through every year here in March and again, I think, in November. And I was really excited because I thought that the D.O.G.E boys would get rid of daylight savings time. And they might still do it, I don't know. Maybe when we change back in November, that'll be announced as, that's it. Enough of that. But we'll have to wait and see. Part of the thing that goes along with daylight saving time, of course, is that the media has to make a big deal out of it. There's 3 stages. Number 1, they have to pretend that everybody's exhausted because they lost an hour of sleep. We have all that stuff on the morning shows on Sunday. How they drag themselves into the office or into the studio an hour early. And talk about that for a little while. Then, the next step is they try to scare us to death by reporting how it's dangerous to lose an hour of sleep and to get out of bed, cook, drive, even take a shower on less sleep than you're used to. Imagine how many deaths are associated with daylight saving time just because they couldn't handle the hour less sleep. And then the third stage, my favorite one, is where they trot out some medical expert and he'll talk about the effects of losing an hour of sleep every year or once a year. Like nobody loses any sleep at any other time of the year except that one day. And the thing is, they do this every year. It's not new. So I'm going to send another set of emails, although I'm not sure people are going to receive them now because I think most of the people that I've been emailing have been fired. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully November, after the change in November, that will be the end of daylight saving time. Keep your fingers crossed. Probably, though, the thing that bothers me the most is that I was expecting this to happen because after my penny video, I had the idea that I had my fingers on the pulse of the economy, that I knew what was going on, and that I was a real heavy hitter as far as public policy was concerned. Because if you recall, just hours after the last video about pennies was released, the president made an executive order telling the mint not to make any more pennies. And I thought, well, he must have seen my video and thought, this guy knows what he's talking about. Daylight saving time is an easy target. Anybody in that chair or in that office could easily outlaw daylight saving time, or maybe outlaw is not the right word, eliminate daylight saving time and be done with it. That would be the end of it. And some people would say, well, since Donald Trump did it, whoever the next president is would just come into office and undo it. I'm not so sure about that. Who in their right mind would do that? Who's going to walk into the Oval Office as president and say, by executive order, that I am in favor of daylight saving time or we need more pennies. Nobody's going to do that. Pennies are history. And as soon as Donald Trump signs the executive order regarding daylight saving time, that's history. We'll never hear about it again. I'm sure you can tell by looking at me that you know the weather has taken a turn for the better. It's 8 degrees right now. 3 days ago, it was still below zero. So I'm very happy. I'm still not convinced, though, that we're done with bad weather. It's only early March. Not sure what day it is, but you can look that up. It's the 3rd day of daylight saving time, like I said earlier. There's a portion of my audience that has no idea that this path is here. Yes, I'm still in Carbondale. But if you're always traveling around in a car, then this path is a complete mystery to you. My advice is to get out and walk around more often. There are a lot of different places in Carbondale that you can walk where there are no other people. In fact, when I come out on this path, especially at this time of the year, I'm always looking for bears. Don't ask me why. I don't know anything about bears, but I do know that they hibernate, and this is the perfect time of year for them to wake up and look for food. I mean, after all, it is daylight saving time. They probably can't sleep with all the sun in their eyes. And I look like a big hors d'oeuvre, let's put it that way. One thing I noticed when the winter finally starts to fade away and it looks like spring might be right around the corner, to coin a phrase, is that people get carried away, and I see things like convertibles and motorcycles hitting the road. Now, I haven't seen any convertibles yet, but I have seen several motorcycles. I think these people are just a little bit ahead of the calendar, because even though it might be cool, or warm, to walk around like this, I'm very comfortable without my hat, without my buff, and with just 2 layers on. But if I were on a motorcycle, the wind chill factor would be off the charts. So I would imagine that they still have to bundle up to stay warm when they're riding around on a motorcycle. But I did see a few, and it won't be long until there's a lot more. During the actual winter, I could never do this. If I were to stop on this bridge in -10 windy conditions, I'd be dead within minutes. This is northeastern Pennsylvania, where the weather occasionally tries to kill us all. And on that cheery note, I think I'll say thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.